everybody, I am here with Yamsun from Team Apex Genesis. Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So good to have you. It is wonderful to see you again. I think the last time that we personally caught up was Nouns back in the International before last. Exciting event for you there. You guys did very well. And then we are back at another big tournament now. Let's talk about your journey from then to now, man. How's things been? How you doing?
You know, Dota is a very fun game, very tantalizing. There's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs. You know, you go from top ATI and then, you know, you don't make some tournaments for a while, you're pretty sad, but then, you know, you bring it back and the raw emotions of LAN Dota. That's what we like to see, baby.
Absolutely. I mean, it's good to see you back. You guys are, you and Sammy Boy in particular, or Samson, I believe is his name now, my apologies. You guys used to be on Wildcard. You recently played against each other, right? In Team Dubu, is that correct?
Yes, the Dubu team.
Yes, the Dubu team. I know that insane rivalry between Team Dubu and Team Bammy Soy. How did you guys mend that and decide to come together now on this squad?
I mean, I guess it is kind of funny how things happen because obviously me and Sammy switched roles. We reversed with each other a little bit, kind of twist of fate. Obviously, there wasn't really any like intense rivalry between us. I think after that team, things just kind of changed. Sammy wanted to play carry again, and then I got the offer to play for Nouns, so there were no like hard feelings or anything, other than, you know, the stuff that comes with winning and losing together, being on teams together for a while. But that's competition, and yeah, we played a couple qualifiers against each other. Not particularly memorable or anything in my career, but it was nice playing against the people you grew up playing with, I guess. That's one of the things that's a bit lacking in the NA region now, I guess, is that a lot of the players that were there at the start of my career are in fact no longer there. Some of my people who were very close friends, people who have moved on from the game. And so Sammy obviously is one of the ones that has stuck around, and my current teammate Fade as well. Like, I played with him all the way back in 2018 when he was I think he was a mid player and a carry player at some points. Yeah, I played with him at different points, and so it's nice to see how far we've both come at this point, being able to meet each other and share experiences like this with one another. So there are only a few of us left around, but you know, there's still enough players to make a couple of teams that can compete in this region. So
sure,
competition is fun, you know, and so whatever it takes, yeah.
So what made you guys survivors based on the other guys from North America? Because we've seen some stars rise up even in the last few years and now have kind of moved on, whereas you guys are remaining competitive, still going into teams. What's the difference there?
I think motivation is one of the huge aspects behind anybody willing to participate in competition still, especially because most people have pretty long histories with playing the game. Not necessarily like professional careers, but you'll probably see a lot of people who have been like interested or playing in the game for like over a decade, for example. And like, I would consider myself in that position as well. You know, spawning all the way back to watching tournaments like TI3 when you're a kid, and you have this like drive, it's like, man, playing on that stage is so cool. And I got to do that last year, and that was a really big motivating factor for me at the time, to just not have any expectations for yourself and to just like do your best, because that's what competition is. You got to do your best.
Sure.
And you take some people down along the way. And so I guess for some of these players who didn't get to play kind of big tournaments, I guess, in their careers, and they, especially now with like the removal of the DPC system, I think a lot of people just got exhausted of playing. Another factor is also that the no one really plays the USC servers anymore from our region. And so there is this kind of loss of community in a sense, where everyone is just kind of playing on EU and you're all kind of just blending in with people who are culturally different from you. And you know, there is something with that I think about time to time, is that this loss of community is pretty devastating, because ultimately the goal of competition is to have fun, you know, meet people along the way and really grow with each other. And playing Dota and NA, I guess back in the now are the good old days, I guess, was a pretty special experience.
Right.
And even idolizing players who have made it big now that have gone out of the region, like Quinn and Snake King. It's a little bit less, you know, centralized. It all kind of blends in together because Europe is now just like the hub for everybody, pretty much. And so, in that sense, it makes for a little bit less like individuality, it feels like. And so I think that loss of self-importance or, you know, meaning probably contributes also to players losing their will to keep on, you know, striving for their dream to, you know, play on the big stage and make it big. And so that part is a little bit sad. I think it ties back to the original topic, is that you need to be very motivated to keep doing this. And after last year's international, I definitely experienced some loss of motivation because it felt like I was all the way at the top, and then suddenly I had to start from zero. And the new roster didn't include me, and it was very hard, as it historically is, to find a group of people in NA to, you know, work towards the top with. And so I'm pretty grateful for the current opportunity that we have fostered, and actually getting to play these tournaments now that there's a lot of room for them with the removal of the DPC system. But at the same time, for these other players, like, I absolutely understand that it kind of just withers away at you slowly, not being able to, you know, play in these big tournaments.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, don't you feel like with this squad in particular, you guys seem to be doing well, could be cool to have another real NA team that's passionate about the region and doing well? Do you feel any of that responsibility at all, or are you just doing your thing?
It's a really interesting question. I mean, I don't really care too much about legacy or anything like that. I think ultimately, obviously you appreciate the fans and the people who are watching you play. And most people would give that answer, you know, is that they love playing on the stage and like doing it for the people who support them, for those like big clubs and stuff. But for, I guess, someone like me who, I guess I never really thought I was gonna be a competitive player. Like, even when I was younger, I thought it was just like, you know, pipe dream. And so ultimately, I think I'm doing it more for myself than for anyone else. And I lost that sense somewhere along the way, especially after the international. And I think I found it again, funny enough, like after the trip I went on this year, missing those 2 qualifiers. And I was like surprisingly okay with it. And then since then, things have kind of been on the up, and I'm enjoying playing a lot more after, you know, kind of taking some time to reset and think about what it is I'm actually trying to achieve. Like, I remember I went to the Nouns boot camp the day after they qualified for international, because they happened to be in the same state. And it was really nice to see them again after so long, you know, Lellis and Gunnar. And then I remember they were packing up and getting ready to leave, and I just went to the beach. We were at Atlantic City, and I just like sat in the water for like 10 minutes, and I was like, fuck man, I gotta lock in, like, I just gotta do it. And after that, it was like, yeah, that's it. You gotta remember what you're playing for, and, you know, you can have thousands and thousands of lows and bad moments, but as soon as you get that, you know, high, it's like, man, it's fucking nice. It's worth it.
That's absolutely incredible to hear about, and we're honored and blessed to have you back kicking ass again. And thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure getting to speak to you again. And I know that I'm not the only one who's going to be rooting for these boys. I know you guys are rooting at home too. So thank you. Best of luck.